Right, RockShox U-turn air revelation with poploc, and I'm making this video because my poploc stopped working. Didn't know why. I've taken that off. As you can see, that's pretty easy to get off. Just take that off. Also, if you're having problems with locking out, you might find this useful. I'm going to take this, I believe they call it motion control unit. I'm going to take that out. Let's get that out of the way. I've already loosened this off to save a bit of time, to be honest. Let's zoom that in. That's what we're playing with, U-turn air. Let's get that in there. Like I said, my poploc stopped working, and I believed at the time there was a spring in this unit. I was wrong about that, so I took that apart. I had a lot of trouble getting it back together. If you want to know how that comes apart, drop me a line. I can do it with my eyes shut now. I've had it apart that many times, but there's nothing in there too much to go wrong, so you shouldn't have to take that apart like I did. Ready. Okay. You see that? Yeah. Allen key there. Grub screw. That's pretty straightforward. Get that off. I've already loosened it to save a bit of time. There's that piece. And your blue piece, which is the same as mine, should just lift off. There's nothing actually holding that on. And your cable stop, same again, Allen key, that'll lift straight off. Nylon washer. Let's get that out of the way. I'm trying to make a nice quick video if I can. Don't really like long sprawling videos. I'll get a bit closer on this. Right, your larger nut, 24mm, anti-clockwise, it's a right-handed thread. I'm just going to take that out, take out the motion control unit. There's no air pressure in there, you don't have to worry about that, it's just a bit of oil. What I discovered that had happened to mine was the spring inside had come detached. So I could physically turn the lock off, or I could open the suspension again, take the lock off. I could lock or unlock manually, but it wouldn't spring back because my spring had come detached. I'll show you that. Don't know how it happened. I was not happy because these forks are obviously not cheap. Right, that's loose. Just expect a bit of tension there as you just lift that out carefully. Lift it out carefully because there is oil down here and you don't want it going everywhere and in your face. Just, it will come. Just lift it out. You're going to have minimal oil. Just drip that back in. Right, let's have a look at the view on that. Let's take it back a bit. That's what you're looking at. What happens is that this disc with the cutout reveals a small hole where your oil goes through. I'm sure you know all that anyway. And all that happens is when your poploc goes into clockwise position, that just covers the holes and stops the oil travelling up. That's really simple stuff. But my problem was in there, and you might not see it on camera, but in there is a spring, and my spring had come detached. I'm going to show you how to do that. Give me a sec, just turn the camera around. Right. Just get some light. Right, how clear is that? Right. The shaft here comes detached from the top. The top is a left-handed thread, so clockwise, just grip that with a rag. Take your same spanner, 24mm, grip that, clockwise will loosen your top. Right. So I'm trying to look through the camera at the same time. So, there you go. That's off. And what you've got inside, right, is I'm going to pull this out. This is where my spring, if you can see in there, you can see that little, you see a coiled spring inside. It's about that long with an arm. The arm of the spring goes through a plastic hole, and mine had basically come out, so there was no spring tension. That's why I could turn it left and right, but it wouldn't spring back into position. Also, some people have problems with the lockout because this half moon is in the wrong position. I'll show you how to do that as well. So that should just, it does, it just pulls out. There's the spring I was talking about. Obviously that, the end of that spring, you'll see it's so self-explanatory when you get it out. Latches onto there. That piece goes through, you probably won't be able to see in there. A torch down there. There you go, halfway down, there's a hole that the spring goes in. Right, also, you can take the bottom off. I'm trying to look through the camera again. You push that in there, and push that in there, and that'll spring your bottom off. That leaves you with an empty tube. And I'll just show you how that keys into that to turn your half moon. Obviously, once you've got this far, you probably won't need the rest of the video, to be honest. I might as well show you. It's so self-explanatory. But yeah, my spring had come detached. So what I had to do, it was that way. Get the hole lined up. That's it, get the hole lined up. I found it easier at the bottom. Make sure your spring's keyed in there. This is going to take a while. You can see through there what you're doing. Well, I can, you probably won't be able to. Ah, it's gone in, it's gone in. Right, spring's in position. If you can see here, that sticking out part there. Keys in there. And what I'm going to do to tension my spring is just lift slightly so it still stays in the hole. I'm going to turn it once clockwise, and you'll see it come round, clip back in. So I've done one turn, clip back in, seated. That's my spring under tension. And right, we're going to clip the bottom back in the half moon. Before you do that, see that just spins freely now. You've got the key part there. Make sure, because what you do when this end turns clockwise, you lock off your suspension. So obviously now it's in the open position. So we have your half moon at the open position. You'll know it's open position because you can see just a small gap there. You can probably put your fingernail in. So make sure you've got the full length of the gap. Right, key the blade into there. And in that position. Also just there, you can see where that goes back into its clip. Let's check again. Yes, in the open position. There's your hole. Clip it in. A bit stiff. Very stiff. Hang on. Stop talking, we'll concentrate. Do you know what? I've just noticed, didn't notice this last time, the clip this side is slightly smaller than the clip that side, so that's good. Good for the video. Half moon still open. Get your key in there. Small side to small side. Large to large. Clip it in. That's it. I've learned something myself there. So just taking the knob off the top of the fork and putting it into position. So imagine my pop lock's going on to lock out my suspension. The pop lock itself on your handlebar keeps it in that position. That's what shuts the half moon over the hole and stops any fluid from rising up into this chamber. And then obviously it springs back. If you can see that. Well, as soon as you let go, it'll spring back. Right, you probably don't need to watch anymore, but that just goes straight back in. Reverse of what we just did. Straight in there. That's worth a few quid. I put it in upside down. What a knobber. Right, probably need to top the oil up as well, so just drag some oil out. Make sure you got it the right way. In it goes. That's bound to happen as well when I was making my video. I've forgotten to put the cap on, which is your left-handed thread. So anti-clockwise to do that up. And just what I'll take it out. Let's do it. Just watch you don't cross thread it, because it's quite a small thread on there. Let's get this spanner on it, it's a bit greasy. Really is easy to cross thread that. So, like I said, anti-clockwise to tighten the cap down. Pop that back in. Clockwise to do that up. I'm sure you can manage the rest. There you go. That should sort out your pop lock problems. Give you an insight into the motion control unit. Hope that's helped.